This summer felt like it passed by so fast. I really feel like I connected with my inner child this summer in such a deep way, in such a spiritual way. It's hard to explain what it's like to have these intense spiritual shifts, this unraveling of self. Go back to yourself. Unraveling is so messy and it's not pretty. I always say becoming is a dance of unbecoming. I believe who we are when we are younger, who we were before the world told us who to be, really that is our true self. But also becoming and mastering and doing things and applying ourselves, that also is part of the journey, and that's part of the walk, you know? We aren't here to just unravel. There's the talk in consciousness or spiritual concepts about, okay, yes, we all do return to love and light, but we are in this human experience and we chose this human experience and we're meant to live in this human experience. Sometimes I feel like people know how to live more than me in a way, but at the same time it's not true because I'm alive. My struggle is living in the present, believe it or not, constantly in between these two worlds and lives and cycles. And I believe, we all are meant to follow the path of our soul. That's what makes us original and what makes us unique. Even if at the core we're all the same, at the core we're all love. I always try to follow my intuition. It served me good. I learned a lot of lessons of things I was craving before and how out there it was, but it's not necessarily bad to be out there. When you do allow life to flow through you, or you're not scared to do those pursuits, you get to learn about yourself and then you get to reflect, which is very uncomfortable because there's times I'm like, what did I just create? That is mortifying, that's embarrassing. But it's not, because you're trying something that's different and it's never been done before. And ultimately, if you're not living a life that's true to you, then whose life are you living? There's really no risk. Yeah, maybe it's not the way something you want it to be at first, but that's okay.
Thing about spirituality is you're always learning lessons. Self-reflection is crucial. There's a lot of lessons I've learned very, very fast, it seems. Particularly being here, this has been a theme, having expectations, because everywhere you go, no matter how you travel, people have these expectations, and expectations are tied to things in their mind. Everyone kind of is wanting something different. This guy was just banging on the hammer, and that's what he is instructed to do. When you also have expectations as a guest, when you pay to stay somewhere, you do kind of expect for them to not be constantly banging on the hanger 24/7. All this noise, and it's been for me a challenge because I'm just very sensitive to noise, and I love the frogs, I love the sounds of nature. It really is such a luxury to live in nature these days. When you go into nature, you feel calm, you feel soothed. It's there for us, it's reliable. I think it's not wrong to have certain expectations of people. Kindness, you don't steal, you don't do certain things. We all are just passing through. To tie your self-worth or to tie yourself to something tangible. The soul's infinite and the soul's not to be tied down. I've reached states where I just feel like I don't need anything, and I still feel like that. I don't need anything. At the end of the day, people are not going to listen to us if we don't take care and appreciate the vessel that the Creator has given us. Now, I actually think that a lot of the wellness industry is a little bit sick, a little bit maddening. All these stupid gadgets, that's not wellness. To integrate into the digital world. The digital world is very embracing. To face that mirror, to face this, it's hard because our schools have not done this before. It's easier to go in the forest. It's harder to face this abruption of the digital age. Ceremonial cacao, I do drink so much of this. I do feel like it helps me, my heart. Natural sea salt, really natural.
My spiritual awakening was about 3.5 years ago now. And when you awaken, the first cycle you go through is you go through certain cycles when you spiritually awaken. I've had to let go of a lot on this path that I'm on. I've been asked to let go of everything, and I've given up everything externally from me, and I am happy with nothing. I'm happy I can have a small kitchen to cook in. I can have not much, and I genuinely can be happy because I do have peace in my soul. But also there's a strong part of me and a knowing that even though I could live like this forever and be content and be at peace, there's certain things in the material world that is not bad. Humans are meant to be ambitious. Humans are meant to do certain things. So this is a side to me, and it's such a necessary side. If I didn't take this time to eat so healthy, for silence, for introspection, how would I reflect? How would I know who I am? How would I sift through all of this conditioning and unbecome for what I want to create? It's so large that sometimes it just still even scares me. It doesn't scare me, but it's intimidating. Like, how am I going to get there? I don't know. And that does require action, does require as well the introspection. I've had to let go of a lot of things in my life and a lot of ambition in particular to embark on this path of self-love and take care of myself. I don't think ambition's wrong, and there's something about living a soft life or living this kind of life that I just give up my ambition. That does not feel right, does not sit right with me. I love working hard, and I don't want to ever just not do anything. I believe that we all are meant to connect to what we love, what we loved as a child, and we're meant to create from that. But with creating anything that's original and just creating anything in general, there's a lot of trial and error. You never will get something right the first time. Also, the most important thing with creating is clarity. How can you create and be creative if you are constantly have mental blocks? So many of these things in society today make it very hard to be creative. It depends on what you do, but if you write like me, I do different creative things, but it's very important to have a clear mind. So those original thoughts, or even just thoughts in general, because there's so much thoughts that we all share through consciousness, and if your vessel is purified, then you can receive those messages and those ideas and those thoughts, because we are life, and energy and ideas, consciousness wants a body, a vessel for these ideas to be used. Yes, there is birthrights and what we're here for, but it's also about free will and how you're treating the vessel that you gave you, because we live in this world where so many things are toxic.